everyone. Welcome to episode 10 of the Megidolaon podcast. I'm your host, Gnarly, and I am here with Robbie, Simply Dad, and Marsh.
Hi.
Yo, what up?
So, yeah.
No, you can't. No. Okay, first of all, you can't introduce him as just Marsh. He's a special guest, man. You gotta say, and our very special guest, somebody that's
very
dear to our
special
hearts.
guest, Marsh.
Who's probably like a little wink in there, like a little. Thank you so much for being here, Marshall. What a blessing.
You're so nice. I wish I were you, and you're hot.
I didn't say all that. I didn't say like.
Yeah, that's what you were implying.
I was just saying that you gotta announce that he's a special guest and that we love him. We're so glad that he's here. That's it. You kind of took it a little too far. If I'm
Marsh's abs are pretty nice. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's probably going to be joining us in future episodes because he's in the group chat and we just kind of like rotate people every now and then. But yeah, so yeah, be sure to. I'll have a link to everyone's channel down in the description. But all right, so let's get into our topics, and the first one is something that only I've played, and that game is 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. It's going to be coming out on the Switch on April, I think it's the 12th. But yeah, so I've been playing that game. It's kind of like it's the newest game by Vanillaware. It came out for the PS4 in 2019 in Japan, and then 2020 everywhere else. And now it's getting a Switch release. It's kind of like some people have described it as a tower defense game. I'd say it's more like an RTS game where you're like defending your base. But I don't really want to go into spoilers, but it's got a very interesting story. It's very interesting characters. The gameplay is a lot of fun. It gets really hard toward the end, but yeah, I think you all should get this game when it comes out if you haven't already played the original on PS4. And I wish Gab were here. She'd go on about this game for hours.
Where is this bitch? Like, respectfully,
she's probably playing Elden Ring.
She's literally online right now. She probably got blown up with. Let me just hit her with the word. Yeah,
I'm gonna play it at some point. Gnarly, do you want to talk about the significance of food to the game? Because they mailed a cutting board to my house.
Well, I didn't get that package, so.
What's the point of the cutting board? What's the food's role in the game?
I actually have no idea.
Oh, you haven't beaten it yet, is that right?
Well, I mean, I'm 30 hours in, but like...
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Okay.
I guess they like talk about food every now and then. I don't know why they sent that stuff.
I don't know anything about the game. I gotta play it still. So, I didn't know it was that long. 30 hours. Oh, and you're not even done with it yet.
Hi, Gab.
Hey, what's up, Gab?
What's up, Gab?
Good morning.
What game was 30 hours?
13 Sentinels.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'd say it's about that.
We're doing the podcast right now. Do you want to talk about 13 Sentinels?
Hell yeah, I want to talk about 13 Sentinels. Aegis Rim, sorry.
Aegis Rim?
Aegis
Rim.
Get that right. The SMT fans are going to come for me.
Oh, yeah.
I already messed it up.
It's Aegis Rim, don't you know?
All right, we'll talk about it.
Don't you know?
What do you think about the game?
Don't you know?
Does it suck?
Yeah, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. Tell us about the damn game.
It's good. It's a good game. I like it.
All right.
Thank you so much, Gabby,
Okay.
for being on the podcast.
Play the game, please. Also, it does not reference Evangelion. Fuck you.
I saw that in that review, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
Gnarly. I just saw what Gab was talking about a minute ago.
Yeah, it's fine. I kind of assume people think that because it's like the only reference they've seen, like modern day, that has like that sci-fi thing, but there's like thousands of movies that do it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Gab, is it just me, or is there a huge difficulty spike in the third act of like the gameplay sections?
To be honest, I did the same strat that I did the PS4, and I did the entire story first, and just had so many meta chips I overpowered everyone.
Wait, you get meta chips from the story mode?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I guess I haven't been paying enough attention, but I've been doing it where like I play the game and then I do some of the story mode, and then like I get to the And then, like, basically, I'll play as much as I can, then I'll do as much of the story as I can, then I'll play as much as I can. But, yeah, well, I guess I'll have to check on my meta chips. But I've been doing, like, the upgrading the Sentinels and everything, but the second level in the third act is just kicking my ass.
So, Gnarly, I have a question for you. Do you recommend... So, I haven't played either the PS4 or the Switch version. Which version would you recommend to me that's never played either?
Well, I mean, I haven't played I have the PS4 version. I haven't played it. But I'd probably say the Switch version just so you could play it while you're doing number 2.
Okay. Okay, what about... What
runs better.
Oh, okay.
In general. Because, like, from what I recall, I mean, I played on a PS4 OG.
Uh-huh.
It definitely had lag spikes in certain segments, but the Switch version, you barely notice them, to be honest. It's a lot smoother.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like,
that is very interesting.
Yeah, like yesterday, when I was on the way back home, like waiting at the airport, I was basically playing that game the entire time. So this is in portable mode, and I didn't notice. I mean, I noticed some lag, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's not super noticeable. I think Faz actually has a video comparing the gameplay. Maybe not.
So, did they have like a different company like make the Switch version, or was it like the same dev team that made the original game that ported it over to Switch?
I have no idea, to be honest.
That's wild to me, the fact that the Switch version, because most other instances, whenever you hear of like a Switch port being released or announced, it's usually like technically speaking, it's always like the inferior version. So that's crazy.
Well, I mean, it's not exactly like a hardware intensive game, but I imagine it might have been a thing where, like, because the game did have a pretty rough development cycle.
Oh wow!
Like, it was announced back in 2015, and there was supposed to be a Vita version that was canceled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was supposed to be a Vita game. The only other game I can think of that really has like the same quality with the Switch is the Dark Souls remaster.
Right. Okay. Huh? Oh, you guys sold me.
All right.
Yeah. And if you pre-order it, you get art cards that are, I think, limited to pre-order bonus, but I'm not 1,000% sure.
Right. Okay.
All right, well, I mean, Gab, since you're here, do you want to stay?
Oh yeah, I'll stay for the podcast.
Okay, cool.
Hey!
Alright, well, now we will get into our next topic, that is the Sonic 2 movie. Which of you guys have seen it?
I've seen it literally last night.
I'm gonna go see it. But, I mean, hey, it looks good. I'm sure, I've heard it's good. Especially, like, I've heard the beginning's a little goofy, but then it gets better. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I'd definitely agree with you on that.
That's all I've heard about it. I like the first one, so.
I heard it has a lot of great references for the fans.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely. Oh my god. I was like, I'm not gonna spoil anything like major or anything like at all, but man, when they showed some parts, I was like literally at the edge of my seat. I was not expecting this film to do that, but oh boy. Gnarly, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, in terms of like which scenes were like super crazy.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about.
Like, whew. Especially the end credits scene. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Definitely do not leave when the credits start. You definitely want to stay for the end credits. But like, yeah, I mean, well, the thing about the movie for me is that like to be honest, I thought the first Sonic movie was good. I didn't think it was amazing, but I thought this movie was like, well, I guess it's more like because the first movie, it didn't feel that much like a Sonic movie. It just felt like a movie. You know, it kind of just felt like a movie with Sonic in it. This one actually felt more like an adaptation of the video games. They had all kinds of like references and stuff. Like you had that Sonic X reference where Knuckles is punching Sonic.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the first film, I can definitely say is because I've seen the first movie to kind of prepare for the second movie coming up again, and I can definitely say that the first movie felt, especially like that one like good like 2/3 of the movie felt more like a road trip movie.
Yeah.
Than it did like an actual like Sonic movie, and even that Sonic's like the actual like legitimate like Sonic versus like Robotnik, like, you know, fight and all that stuff was mostly just like the final part. But here in this film, it's like literally all throughout. It's just like Sonic and Eggman and them like going about, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, like in the first movie, like Robotnik, he didn't even look like Eggman. Like, not to say Jim Carrey didn't do a good job of playing the character, but I think it almost feels like the first movie was really more of an origin story.
Yes,
for
absolutely.
The next one, and I mean, if you've seen it, you probably know that they did sequel bait at the end.
Yes. And with his actual design, and they it wasn't even like a spoiler either, because they showed it off in the trailer with his iconic like bald head and like his mustache.
Yeah, but what also am I the only one that not that I'm complaining, but what did you think of the fact that Knuckles had like an African accent?
I think it was great. I mean, it honestly, like, at least with the lore of the movie, it made sense because the echidna culture itself was like
Knuckles
more tribal.
Is black, bro. What do you mean?
Okay.
Knuckles is like Piccolo. Knuckles is like the Piccolo of the Sonic universe, bro. He's obviously black.
Okay. But yeah, no. With the whole like tribal like kind of thing, like it makes a lot of sense. It was either going to be that, or they would have made him like Native American, like how they portrayed him in Sonic Adventure 1.
Although like isn't the Knuckles tribe, weren't they Mayan? Like, isn't that what they're based on?
Yeah, that's why I say like Native Americans, like the Echidna tribe themselves were like Mayan, yeah, and especially like if you play Sonic Adventure 1 with with the call and all that, yeah, they were Mayan. They're based off of Mayan culture.
Yeah, like I think I guess in terms of what this movie is based on, it was like loosely based on Sonic Adventure 1.
Yes.
But
I can definitely say that.
Yeah, and also like I don't know if it's been a while since I've seen it, but that like spoilers, like one of the things at the end looked a lot like something from the animated Sonic movie. I think it was 1999.
Oh. Yeah. The two-part OVA, yeah.
Yeah. Which was then just combined and released as a movie over here.
Yeah. I think so.
It definitely seems like the writers and the directors, like they did it with a lot of respect for the games. It wasn't just a lazy cash grab.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that a lot of the people in the staff like either respected or better yet, like they adored the original like source material. I was honestly surprised with how many like references. I mean, the first movie had a lot of references, but the second movie is just like chock full of it, and it's not just like ham-fisted either. Like a lot of it like made sense and serviced like the actual plot like really, really well.
Yeah.
You guys know a lot about Sonic, and I know absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, I've been a Sonic fan since I was a kid.
The Sega Genesis is literally like my very first console.
I watched that video, top 10 hottest Sonic the Hedgehog characters.
I love that video.
I pretty much know everything I need to know about Sonic.
That video is like top 10 videos of all time, more like it.
I think we're getting a little too sidetracked here.
My bad.
Sidetracked from what? The 3 fucking topics we gotta talk about today?
Well, you said you wanted to have more time for questions.
I said I wanted more times to have like beautiful, loving conversations.
Yeah, by talking about the top 10 hottest female Sonic characters.
I don't know who brought it up, but as soon as somebody brought up D3 Entertainment, my mind immediately went like full on ape mode. And I'm like, yes, I love this man. It's funny.
Okay, but Robbie, you got anything else to say about the Sonic movie?
Regarding the movie, obviously definitely watch the first movie.
Yeah.
In order to get context regarding what's going on the plot wise. And if you're a Sonic fan, if you like know a lot of like the lore or played the games and stuff like that, you're definitely going to be getting way more out of this film than someone that hasn't seen Sonic or like hasn't played Sonic, my bad. But I think you'd still enjoy it just fine. If anything, it's definitely like, that standard like kid film that you can kind of like just put on. But yeah, it's definitely recommend it, especially if you like Sonic.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to the sequel. And also, when are we gonna get? This is unrelated, but when are we gonna get a Detective Pikachu sequel?
I'll be honest. with how they ended the movie, I don't know. I don't think they would. I mean,
because like I just thought of this because like, you know, I mean, like Detective Pikachu was good, but I kind of have similar thoughts I did the first Sonic movie. Like I didn't think it was amazing.
I think it would have.
It really threw me off.
Yeah, and my bad. I keep cutting you off.
No, it's okay. I basically said, you know, it just the end of the movie just threw me off so much. I was just like, how can they do this to me?
Or like maybe not a Detective Pikachu sequel, but just a new live action Pokemon movie.
Yeah, I think that would work because yeah, especially with how weird that ending was. But like even with that, the ending like had finality to the to the story itself. So it wouldn't make sense to have like a full on sequel. They would basically have to make Ryan Reynolds into Pikachu again. It's like, oh no, I'm Pikachu again.
Dad?
What? I'm not listening. I'll tell you.
I mean, sorry. I meant I was referencing the movie, not you. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good.
But yeah, so yeah, that's it for our thoughts on the Sonic 2 movie. Now, let's talk about the new PlayStation Plus subscription services. This is kind of a big deal.
Y'all gotta explain that to me because I have no idea what that is. You explain it to me. I don't know.
You know what Xbox Game Pass is?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically this is Sony's alternative to Xbox Game Pass, except it's a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
I thought that was what PS Plus was. What the hell?
PS Plus, okay, it's basically PS Plus is basically Xbox Live Gold, except that is also a whole lot worse.
Yeah, it's basically take the cool concept of being able to play online for free from PlayStation 3, and it's like, oh, now that you've upgraded to PS4, now you gotta pay online for that.
I hate how they're advertising it as like a feature. It's like when you buy those cards, it shows the features, and one of them is online multiplayer. It's like, no, this is something that is being gatekeeped for me. It's locked behind a paywall that is part of the game.
I have a theory that if Microsoft didn't fuck up with the whole like, you know, like online, like always has to be online, like, you know, controversy that happened back in 2013, and like PlayStation, like, you know, if that whole thing didn't exist, I bet you there would have been like way more angry like fans and stuff talking about the fact that you had to pay for online, because that was a huge thing literally up until like Xbox decided, oh, it's no discs, DRM, online only. Like that whole thing like blew that whole like, you know, PlayStation Plus bit like out of the water.
Yeah.
And everybody just forgot.
Well, I mean, I heard that the reason they started charging for online was to make up for the like billions of dollars they lost when the PlayStation Network was hacked. Do you remember that?
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, like I was I was still in middle school, and it's just I remember getting roasted by my Xbox fanboy friends at the lunch table because of that.
Yeah, I remember. I was in high school when that happened. That was wild.
But okay, so basically what we got PlayStation Plus Essential, which gives you pretty much everything that PlayStation Plus gets, but you get so that's basically just regular PlayStation Plus. Then you got PlayStation Plus Extra, which adds a catalog, which I quote, adds a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from our PlayStation Studios catalog and third-party partners. Games in the Extra tier are downloadable for play. And then, and this is $99 a year in the United States.
Oh my god.
Then we got PlayStation Plus Premium, which provides all that. See, it adds up to 340 additional games, including PS3 games available via cloud streaming, a catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and download options from the original PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and PSP generations. And then it offers cloud streaming access to those and some PS4 games. And time-limited game trials will also be offered in this tier so customers can try select games before they buy, and this is $120 yearly.
And Yarly, as far as if I remember correctly, they're removing the the standalone PS Now service like completely, right?
Yeah, that's what they said. I haven't. I mean, I don't know anybody that's like actually uses PS Now, so.
Yeah, especially like just PS Now and not PS Plus. Like, I don't think that exists.
Yeah.
I'm curious if someone actually does like do that though. Just have PS Now and not PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like. It's just like people have been voicing their like distaste for this, and Sony hasn't really been really doing anything about it. And they've also said that like I'm pretty sure Sony came out and said that like their exclusives aren't going to be coming to these subscription services day and date, which is something that Microsoft is doing. I mean, Halo Infinite, you can play that if you have Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, like everything that you just said is literally just a worse version of Game Pass. Like, there's like literally no reason to just opt for that unless you're that desperate and wanting to play through like the exclusive games that's only on PlayStation. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, like, and like, I guess the only real advantage that it has is that it's cheaper, but it's still expensive.
Yeah.
I just think it's stupid because, like, you know, I think Xbox Game Pass is a really good deal, but at the same time, I think in terms of like, you know, legacy and, you know, like in terms of like legacy games, I definitely think Sony has the better library. Like, when I heard that the Series X is going to be backwards compatible with all the other Xboxes, you know, I got excited, but at the same time, it's like I don't really care about Xbox's legacy as much as I do Sony's. Like, I'm not trying to sound like a fanboy, but
a big reason for that, and you're not wrong, is because the fact that Xbox hasn't been in the industry as long as PlayStation has. Like, they've only been in the scene for, if you think about it, for 3 generations compared to PlayStation's, was it 4 or 5 generations or something? Yeah. Oh no, 4. Xbox is 4 compared to PlayStation's 5.
Yeah, well, I mean, I also think that compared to the original Xbox, I think PS2 has better exclusives. You know, like it's got Persona 3 and 4, it's got Shadow Hearts, it's got Xenosaga, it's got like Rogue Galaxy, it's got all like it has more JRPGs. That's a genre that I care about the most.
It doesn't have Blinks the Time Cat though.
Okay. It has Ratchet and Clank.
That's true.
It also has Sly Cooper.
That is very true.
But I think, like, but honestly, like, what I was kind of, like, I think I'm the most disappointed about is the fact that PS3 games are streaming only.
Yeah, that is really weird. I mean, like, I guess if you think about it, like, PS3 games are kind of hefty in size, but like...
Well, what they say is that, like, you know, the PS3 has really, like, weird architecture, but at the same time, it's like, you guys made the freaking PS3.
It's... I honestly don't know. I mean, I guess... like, there's literally, like, no excuse to that. Like, they literally made the console. Like, that was the excuse that, like... Well, not really an excuse. That was, like, legit the reason why, like, indie games and stuff weren't, like, common at all for the PS3, was because the architecture was really weird.
Well, and we also got a lot of crappy PS3 ports early on.
Right. But, like, you're absolutely right. Like, when it comes to, like, making backwards compatible, like, components and stuff to, like, actually natively play PS3 games, like, it's just so... It is very weird. It is very odd and it's very weird.
Yeah.
That they can't be able to do it.
I mean, like, I consider myself more of a PC gamer now. But, like, if Sony were to ever release, like, a PlayStation that's backwards compatible with all, like, PlayStation generations, mainly the PS3 and the PS2, I would be, like, I'd be there camping out, like, 2 weeks in advance to get one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't blame you, because, especially, like, you know, when you said that you just mostly play on PC, like, a lot of that has to do with necessity, especially if you want to play... like those early era, like, you know, PlayStation 3 or 360 games. It's, I mean, like games you can get at the Steam.
Like games from you can easily get those games from that generation and play them. I mean, you may encounter like you may encounter some like technical issues because of hardware, but you can play them, and that's more than can be said of PS3 games.
Exactly,
well, and also free online is another thing.
Right, and not only that, but like, you know, especially if we'll get. Like, whatever game you kind of pick out from a library, the chances are there's going to be, like, a fan community, like, behind it
Yeah.
where they make like fan-made like patches that help with upscaling or like FPS issues, stuff like that.
Yeah, like recently I've been playing through the Fear series on my PC, and
that's so good.
It has that game is so much fun, especially especially on max settings. Like, it still looks good even though it's from like 2005.
Can I jump in, Yarly?
Beautiful.
It's kind of funny. I actually finished the first Fear again today. That's sort of weird.
Hell yeah, dude. Nice.
I've been playing those too. It's sort of funny that you're playing them at the same time.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, when I booted it up the first time, I encountered some like frame rate issues, but there was this fan mod that I just like, it's like a DLL file.
Same thing with me. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. you just dump it into your folder and then it runs fine.
Yeah,
it's
like
the same thing
playing that game, 144 FPS, so amazing.
Yeah,
I love
but like
Fear. We can talk about that for hours.
yeah, but then when it comes to Sony's actual like when it comes to Sony's actual input and actually like playing those games, the only thing they could literally offer is just stream it through our service, and that's all they can really offer. You can't even download it or anything to like actually have on your actual hard drive.
Yeah, so
like,
let's say your internet goes out. Oh, sorry, you can't play these games.
Or better yet, like you go to like if you go to like a convention or whatever, and you take your PS5 with you to your hotel, and like the internet's really shoddy or something, like nope, you can't play them or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
it's like it just sucks because it's like Sony has like it's like I keep saying, Sony has like an awesome legacy of games, and if they were to like create full backwards compatibility, they would be like dancing all over Xbox, but that's not what they're doing, and that's why Microsoft is like making a comeback this generation.
Yeah, maybe not with the console department, because as far as I know, like most people I know that are trying to break into this new console generation are trying to go for a PlayStation 5 over an Xbox Series, but at the very least, when it comes to services and stuff like that, Microsoft is like leagues doing better than what Sony's offering.
Yeah,
and that's not even going into like censorship standards and guidelines that Sony's implementing. Like that shit like sucks balls.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, I think that like I think that like with more Sony like with how hard it is to get a PS5 and more Sony exclusives coming out on PC, like. I don't know, it's kind of just like, I don't really feel that much of a reason to get a PS5, but that's just, that's just my personal thing.
Right. And I don't blame you at all. Like, I have a PlayStation 5, and I try and go out of my way to tell people, it's like, as far as like PlayStation's concerned, if you have like a properly working like PS4 or PC, just stick with that for now until like something of actual like worth comes out.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
that warrants like you getting a PS5.
Even like PlayStation console exclusives, like they're still coming to PS4. So, yeah. But you guys have anything else you want to say about these?
Not really.
I would just. Yeah, I don't care too much. I'm not gonna pay for that. The thing is, for me, I already have all the PS2 classics I want. You know what I'm saying? I already own them. So it's like 120 per year is a lot. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, would you say it's a better deal than what Nintendo is doing with their N64 like subscription thing? When they announced that, I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. So I downloaded the N64 thing, and then it's like $50 a year. What the fuck?
Right.
Honestly, it's either like, do I want to shoot my left foot or do I want to shoot my right foot?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's cheaper, but I think it's a crappier deal.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like,
if it was like N64, GameCube, Wii U, and all that, then I'd say it's worth $50.
Nothing against anybody that actually got the $50 pass, but I think anyone can agree that the $20 a year thing is more bang for your buck in terms of like features and stuff that you get rather than the additional stuff that you pay for that extra $30.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, as far as my piece is concerned.
Maybe if it was $30 a year.
Yeah, instead of an additional 30. Like, no,
exactly.
not doing that.
Okay. All right, and one more topic that's not really discussion, But it's right now there is a digital Atlus sale going on, and it's going on until the 17th.
Wow. Isn't that great? Aren't we posting this like later in the month? It'll probably be over by the time we talk about it.
I mean, I'm probably gonna, if I can, I'm gonna get this video out earlier.
On your main channel again?
Put it on the 16th. That'll give the viewers a time to race.
Well, what I'll probably do is I'll probably post it after my I kind of want to post it before my 13 Sentinels review because I mean less than 10% of my audience watches these videos, but it'll give if I post it before my 13 Sentinels video, it won't really affect it that much.
Right.
Because the last episode I posted it right after my Western Atlas Games video, and it didn't get as many views as I was expecting it to.
To comment on the topic itself, I think it's safe to say that this will be the last sale that Atlus is gonna do for 3DS, right? Because next month is literally going to be when you can't actually use actual money to buy 3DS games, right?
Yeah.
So,
you can still use the cards, provided you can find any.
Yeah, I think the cards, I don't think they're console exclusive, right? If you get a $20 Nintendo Switch card, I think that's still compatible, right?
Yeah.
As long as it's still $20 towards Nintendo stuff, yeah, then I think that's not too bad.
Yeah, but and also SMT5 is also on sale, so if you've been on the fence about that, now's a pretty good time to get it. Oh, and Persona 5 Strikers on Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, a game that Simply Dad doesn't like. Oh, and also Etrian Odyssey series is also on sale.
What?
No.
What? No. Shut up real quick. I don't like Persona 5 Strikers.
He meant SMT5. I'm pretty sure he meant SMT5.
I meant SMT5.
Yeah.
You're trying to say I don't like SMT5, the greatest Atlus game, fucking achievement video game masterpiece of all time, SMT5.
Dad,
okay, April Fool's was a week ago.
Dad, we know that if the viewers have seen the previous podcast episode, you've talked just extensively about how much you actually really enjoyed playing Persona 5 Strikers, so I think
okay, yeah. As long as we cleared that up, I don't want to get mischaracterized in front of my people. You know what I mean?
Nah.
I think it's I think it's a pretty mediocre game. That don't mean I don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Watch your mouth, Nearly. I'll kick your ass, bro.
Okay. You'll get a chance to Anime Expo.
Hide your butt.
All right. Okay, now it's time to get into questions. Alright, first question is by Nick, and he asks, which story in the SMT universe do you feel best reflects the franchise, and why?
Let's all answer it. Let's go down the line or something.
Yeah.
Start at one end.
Who's on one end? I think it's
the
different
Discord
for everybody.
Oh, it's different for everybody. Sorry.
I'm on the far right.
Dad shows up. Well, I'm playing a game and I have the overlay on, and Dad.
This is what it looks like for me. Tell me.
It's the same.
Is it all the same?
Yeah.
What was the question?
Yeah,
I wasn't even paying attention. Ask the question again.
Which SMT game Which SMT game? Hold on, I actually forgot it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like your little fucking attitude, right? Like you thought.
Oh, I got it. Which story in the SMT universe do you feel best reflects the franchise, and why?
Bitch, SMT1? What the fuck? Like,
that's what I was gonna say. Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah,
it's as simple as you can get.
Either SMT1 or Megami Tensei 1.
I was gonna say either SMT1
no, not Megami Tensei 1, not at all. I would say
maybe
Megami Tensei 2.
Okay,
maybe
yeah,
2. Yeah.
Those are like the most purest, sweetest, like that's just what it is. Like the thing is though, like outside of like maybe 2, all the games are different. There's not one that I would say is emblematic of everything that's like in the series, because you'd go from like playing 1 to playing Nocturne to playing Apocalypse or something. They're all kind of different, but like core everything is 1, maybe 2, because they're connected. One's got a good ass story. It's got really nice character model. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Okay. I would also say Devil Survivor.
No, bitch.
What do you
Devil
mean?
Survivor.
Why no?
Devil
Why
Survivor
no?
is like before SMT5. I would say Devil Survivor is the amalgamation of like every reductive general. It's edgy, super fucking edgy. Like
Okay. Well,
you're such a badass demon lord that comes around and fights demons, and you're so powerful, and everybody loves you.
Yeah, and that
so,
doesn't
like,
make you think of
Power of
SMT.
Yeah, if you want to
I-
like go off of what Twitter.com or Reddit.com says about what the series is, I don't think it's emblematic or representative of like.
I think it does a good job of like representing the themes of SMT, and it's also set in Tokyo. It's got that whole like religious themed plot and stuff.
You gotta keep in mind, it's like a big ass
to the other games.
It's just gotta come with a big caveat that's like so like over exaggerated of like every single. Yeah, it had all of it, but it's like so ridiculously cartoonishly like exaggerated.
For my answer, I mean, obviously, besides SMT1, I'd say 4, just mostly because of the fact that 4 story-wise is a big throwback to SMT1 story. And not only that, but as far as like a modern pick goes, it's a lot easier to recommend playing SMT4, and that would definitely give people like a good understanding as to kind of like what the vibe and gist of like SMT is about as a whole.
I was gonna say 4 mainly because I haven't played Megami Tensei 1, and basically for the same reasons. It's usually what I recommend people start with because I feel like it's just the best example of what the series is, and honestly, it's my favorite. So
I realized we were all arguing on what the order, and we just said fuck the order. It went me, and then Gnarly, and then Robbie, and then Gabby.
Yeah, it's okay. I figured the order would make it easier.
Hey, I mean, we have a lot of passion, It's like we know it in our hearts as to kind of like what order we want to like kind of say our piece in. So I think it's all good in the end.
I usually go last. Like, I just want to hear what y'all gotta say, and then I'll say whatever. Like,
yeah, no, I feel you. I was gonna say
damn.
SMT1 or Megami Tensei 2. Just
Oh,
2
man.
gets it started, and then SMT1's got like it adds, like the neutral and stuff like that, which is in almost every mainline game. So
I was half expecting someone to to do the joke, to give the joke answer, be like Jack Brothers or Devil's Children.
Yeah, but that's the
5.
difference, though, Robbie.
Yeah.
You gotta like recognize that you're amongst people who are like actually funny. I would never make a joke like that.
So that's my call for the answer. Did he mute himself, or did you do that?
No, I didn't
I think
do
you
that.
mean
Oh, I thought you said that, and then you just like muted him. You removed him from the podcast or something.
Yeah, Robbie's never coming back ever again. He made one unfunny joke.
But yeah, I mean,
All right,
yeah.
fucking podcast host. What's the next question, big guy? Come on now.
This one is by Michael. He asks, any tips on trying to go through the older, more grind-heavy games with the series? For context, I've only beaten the 4 duology and 5, and have been wanting to go back to try the older entries. However, I feel as though the grind is more demanding and has hampered my enjoyment. Any advice is welcome. Thanks, and have a good day.
Oh, Law, because his name is
man.
Michael.
Great. I hope this guy has a great ass day too. He didn't have to add that at the very end, but he did it anyways. That's so nice of him.
Yeah, but I'd say, well, I mean, I don't know like which game he's playing. I'm assuming he's playing Strange Journey, since that's the one that came before 4. I would say just well, okay, if you're emulating, I'd say use the speed button.
Yeah. That
Like,
works.
I'd also say, like, instead of spending less time grinding, I'd say just spend more time, like, fusing and trying to get, like, just trying to get, like, the perfect demons. Like, if a demon doesn't have the exact skill set that you want, then I'd say just keep rolling and get it until you get the moveset that you want. And, like, I'd say always cover your demon's weaknesses. Always have at least one buff skill for every stat in your party, and always have the strongest attack.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers all the bases. And I guess one kind of tip I can give that I don't think is going to work for many people, but you never know, is just get yourself absorbed in the game that I guess you play. Like if you're playing through, like, just kind of like soak everything in, Like just read everything, just kind of like take in the music. That honestly, like for me, and this works for like a lot of RPGs that I play. That's like really like high in hours and stuff. It's just it makes the time go by super fast. Like you can call it grinding or like going through like a dungeon or whatever like that, but you'll notice kind of like time go by like nothing.
Well, I mean,
at least with me.
Well, you said take time to like listen to the dialogue and stuff. I'd say just speed read because that makes it go by faster.
I guess so.
I guess it depends on like your enjoyment of a game. Like for me, certain games I will speed through in like 4 days, but other games I'll be like Elden Ring took me like a week or more, and I would just do it in slow sessions. It really depends on how much it really pulls you in and makes you care.
There's some games where like the dialogue is just so fun to read that I'll literally just like read it out loud and just kind of like voicing it with my own voices.
Yeah.
I did that with SMT1, 2, and the original Strange Journey.
Yeah, well, I mean, but again, like it depends on which game you're playing. Like Persona 5, for example, you could just take like half the dialogue out of that game and you wouldn't really miss anything. Like all the text conversations, just skip those. But I'd also say that like
90% of the conversations you can have, as long if it's like not one of them like fucking cinematic scenes before like you enter a dungeon or whatever, like most of it is literally just the same characters repeating the same bullshit the entire time, bro. Like,
yeah. And also, like, if you get stuck in a dungeon, don't feel ashamed of looking up a guide, especially if you're playing Strange Journey.
Oh my god,
bro! My general opinion on these things, first of all, like, I gotta correct you, bro. Like, outside of like what Persona 1 and maybe 2, DDS 1 and 2 for all them like mantras or whatever the hell it's called, like, SMT games aren't very grindy, and like, I would personally say like my genuine advice is just have fun. You just chill. Some games are meant, especially old ass RPGs, some games are just meant to just sit back and chill out and just have a good ass time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure that's how you played the game, right, Marsh? When you was doing like the old Megami Tensei and all that shit, like especially like what Devil Summoner 1, that's how I played the game. I was like leaned back in my chair with a controller in my hand, like guide up here, like game window over here. I was just chilling. Like, don't rush it. You know what I mean? Like, if you think the only way you can get through a game is grinding, just take it slow, bro. Like, enjoy, like, explore the dungeon, get every fucking nook and cranny, open every chest, go everywhere you can, fight every enemy encounter, like, fuse as many demons as you, just take it slow. The grinding will go away. It's not like a game like SMT5 where they force on you or anything, but like, I'm just saying, like, also, yeah, there's nothing wrong with looking up a guide. I definitely think that, especially anything like pre-2010, like, I would not blame you for looking up a guide, because I feel like some games were just designed to have that comfy, guidebook in hand while you're playing the game. Like, that shit seems, I don't know, it's really fun. I remember doing that for Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. That shit was so fun when I was a kid. Like,
oh man, DK64, man. Like trying to find all the golden bananas and stuff and finding out what character goes into what door. I love that. I love the strategy guide for DK64. I should read that for hours.
Guides in general, when we used to get them for like everything, and physical, like hard, like Prima Guides thick book you could slap down on a table.
Do you guys have any of the double jump guides for the PS2 games?
I got hella gaming magazines. My neighbors, I don't know if I said this already, my neighbors moved out recently, and they just dumped a shit ton of like old EGMs, like Nintendo Power guidebooks and shit like that. So I got hella for like any game. Like, cool. It's pretty badass.
I still have my strategy guide for Xenoblade X somewhere in my house. I just don't know where.
I have a few strategy guides for not RPGs usually. The double jump ones, the small ones, am I right?
Yeah.
Like pretty small. I have one for I mean, you like the game, you're Operation Darkness. I got one for that.
Oh, you do? Holy shit.
Yeah, I got that one. I want the one for Nocturne, but it's pretty expensive now.
I have the Japanese one for Nocturne. It's actually pretty fucking sick.
I found it.
They look cool.
I found it at half price books for like $25.
Nice.
And I've got all the double jump ones for the PS2 games. It's not double jump, but I've got the one for Persona 1, and it's not Megidolaon, but I have the I think it's the Brady Games guide for OG Nier.
Nice. Yeah, I love game guides.
Yeah.
Especially like older ones with the art.
But-
They got like extra art in them.
Yeah, but
Cool
like
shit.
at the same time, I can like understand why they were discontinued. One, because of the internet, but two, also because like, at least in the case of like portable games, like, can you imagine carrying one of those around and you're along with your like Game Boy or DS or whatever?
Yeah, it's a pain probably.
Especially if you're a kid.
Right.
The little baby hands.
Yeah. But, alright, yes. Thank you, Michael, for your question. Alright, this next one is from Anon, and it's for Marsh. He's asking, Marsh, will you be doing a video on the older Nishitani books?
Yeah, I mean for sure. I want to. Nishitani has written like 100 books or something.
What
a
are
ton.
they like?
They're not all Megaton. He's written many just like about like Japanese gods and like sci-fi shit. So many books.
Oh, nice.
But
have they been
he's
translated?
No, most of them haven't been. I don't think any of them officially have been. But like the
You
first
read
two
them all in
Digital Devil
Japanese,
stories. For most of the Digital Devil stories I did, but the first two are in English from a fan translation on a blog. So you can read those. I want to do it's like Shin Megami Tensei like Jerusalem or some shit like that. I know
yeah.
that one
I've
looks
heard of
cool. So I want to do that one. I have to see if I can find like either a copy of it or a scan somewhere. But yeah, for sure.
what I was gonna suggest was that you also do videos on the Quantum Devil Saga books.
I
Yeah.
fucking said that first. First of
They
all,
look
don't
cool. When did you
steal
say
my
that?
fucking idea in the r/spider server.
I didn't see it.
Well, it is
Whose
a good
fucking
idea.
fault is that? I'm sorry you
It's
stole
not
my
mine.
fucking idea. Like, I've said it first.
Okay.
Can't believe you would steal that from me. That's fucked up. But nah, what about would you consider doing any of the mangas for the games? Like and I know there's like an actual like unique one called like SMT Con or some
Oh, yeah,
bullshit, which
that
is like its
one-
own unique story.
That one got an official translation too.
Yeah, part of it did, I think. Like the first volume of it did. It's like a sequel to If. I would like
Would you
to
do
that.
one just for like curiosity's sake or whatever? Or like
Yeah, I'd love to. I didn't think my Digital Devil story video would do well, and it did. So apparently people would watch a book video. So sure, I'll do it. I like doing it. It was a lot of fun. I thought it was gonna be like one of those, this is really fun kind of things, but nobody really gives a shit. But it was kind of the opposite. Like people really liked it. So yeah, for sure.
Alright, so thank you, Anon, for your question. Alright, next question is from Xenoblade 3 Hype. In terms of alignments, routes, reasons, which game in Megaton has the best execution of it? Who is the best rep of each alignment, and which reason? Okay, that's 3 questions, so I'm just gonna answer the first one. But
Wow.
okay, I'm gonna say Devil Survivor.
uh
I haven't played enough of. I haven't played 2 yet, so I don't know.
Well, I,
Like
okay,
if
I
it
think.
best series or best
I
game.
would say I would like
I'm-
low key.
Well, I'm talking about like in terms of like which like representation of alignments.
Okay, just individual game. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
but yeah,
How would you say
well,
just Devil Survivor in general, or just the first one? Like,
yeah, just the first. Well, okay, I do like the endings of 2, but I wouldn't say they're like. I'd say they're closer to the reasons in Nocturne. I think Devil Survivor 2, they're more like you have more than 3 endings, but they're more like representations of law, chaos. Like obviously Amane's is law, Naoya's is chaos. I guess you could also say Yuzu's is chaos. Atsuro's is neutral, and then you have Jin's, which is also neutral. But like, I think it does the best job of representing them, because like one thing I've noticed from like a lot of the games, especially 4, is that like even though like you have the different choices and alignments and stuff, it's pretty clear that they have a bias towards neutral, and that's the ending they want you to take, because they think that like, oh well, neutral is like the in-between of law and chaos, therefore it's automatically the best. That's not what Devil Survivor 2 does. Not Devil Survivor 2, Devil Survivor 1, well, Devil Survivor 2 as well, but Devil Survivor 1, it's like it makes clear what the pros and cons of those alignments are, and it's not like extreme. It's not like you take a Mane's ending and it's like slavery and like mind control and stuff. It's like
Amane's Mane's ending was like the first ending I ever got in Devil Survivor 1, and that one, even though it was like, oh, angels are dictating everything the humans are doing, it wasn't like the outcome wasn't really all that bad.
Yeah, well, they're not like they're ruling over, but it's not like it's not like you don't have free will or anything like that. And then there's like Naoya's ending, which is basically you become the King of Bel and you lead the war against God. So again, he basically like takes over Japan, but he still like, he still gives them like freedom and stuff.
Right.
And then you have Jin's where you're basically just getting rid of the demons.
Yeah. For me, I would say SMT1 I think was the best, just mainly because of how simple it is. It's literally just 3 endings rather than like, I forgot like how many like endings. I think Devil Survivor 1 had like 10 endings, right? 10 or 9 endings?
Devil Survivor 1, it has, okay, well, I mean, if you count the ones in, like, it has 5 endings, but if you count the ones in Overclocked, it has 8.
Yeah, it had 8 endings, yeah, but the Overclocked. But at least with...
Well, actually, no, it's 9, because for now, there's 2 endings in Overclocked.
Right, yeah, that's why it was like 9 or 10. I remember it was like that, but... Yeah, that's why I said, like, I think...
Well, actually, it is 10, because there's that Honda one.
Okay, I guess I was right then.
But it doesn't give you like an ending, it just gives you a game over screen.
Right. It still counts. But anyway, yeah, I'd say SMT1 I think is probably like the best in terms of in terms of representation of kind of like what kind of counts as what, like, because yeah, I do agree that SMT4 is like obviously biased and is like more leaning towards SMT4. I mean, hell, even Apocalypse is literally like a sequel to the neutral, or like not a sequel, the integral of the neutral ending for SMT4. But SMT1 I feel like is a good balance between all that, because it's never clear cut as to whether or not like things are going are going like AKA like the best way or not, if that makes sense. Like you can't just say like, oh, humanity, because either way humanity is fucked, because regardless of what ending you get, like the apocalypse happens in Tokyo like twice, once with the ICBM and the second with the flood.
Yeah.
So regardless, things are terrible for humanity.
Yeah. I mean, well, and another reason, sorry to cut you off, but that's another reason I like the neutral ending of Devil Survivor, because it's not like things were going super bad before, and basically what Jid is doing, he's like, hey, look, I like the way things are going, I want things to return to the way they were.
Yeah.
It's not like a fuck yeah humanity like 4 is.
Right, yeah. And that's kind of, and especially like with SMT1, it's like, yeah, I don't want, because it was either like, yeah, I want to go with God and its angels, or I want to go with the demons, and then neutral is like, yeah, I don't want to do either. I just want humans to kind of do their own thing. It's pretty simple, and I think in terms of alignment representation, I think SMT1 handled it the best, because there was no clear cut like bias towards any of the particular alignments or anything. That's my answer. I would go SMT1.
What was the question?
It's just mostly what game I think it was like what game was like represented alignments best, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Devil Survivor 2, I guess. Because it does it on like a human scale rather than like a gods and demons scale. The human aspect makes it easier to digest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially the different nuances between each, and they argue about it a fucking lot. They argue about that shit so much. Like the fucking last third of the game is literally just all of them fucking arguing with each other. It's basically like that one part in SMT1 where you enter the cathedral for the first time. It's just these 2 dumb motherfuckers yelling at each other from across the hallway.
Well,
Except
yeah.
like
I mean,
10 hours.
I do think Devil Survivor 2 has good endings, but at the same time, I also think it's kind of like too in your face with them.
Bitch, you are advocating for Devil Survivor 1, talking about fucking
Devil Survivor 1 is nowhere near. It's not like oh, I want to kill God. It's just hey, you wanna become the King of Bel and lead the war against God, and then Abel's like, yeah, and then you go with the ending.
This is corny.
And both Devil Survivors are valid fair.
Except for the
And
first one. Fuck that one.
There's only two.
Devil
I will
Survivor 2 and 2 Record Breaker are so valid. You're so right, Robbie. I agree, man.
I will say Devil Survivor 2 does have my favorite ending in the entire franchise, and that's Alcor's ending.
That's the first one I got, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's like, I think that's like everything that Chaos should be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What about you, Marge?
I'd pick Strange Journey. I think it's like got cool stakes. It's got an adult cast. It's a little different. And I think.
Yeah.
What was that?
No, I'll let you finish.
Oh, I didn't have too much more. Just the stakes are really cool. It's a unique plot where things really feel kind of fucked and desperate. So it's just my favorite one, most memorable.
Yeah, like
See, I was gonna say Strange Journey, but my problem was I thought like SJ for me is like personally like the extremes of each. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just
Like
really
whereas
liked it.
Devil Survivor 2 is like kind of like the softer side. I feel like SJ is like the extreme side. There's like a balance somewhere in the middle. This is probably a game that's like somewhere between those two, and that's probably the best one. But yeah, I agree. SJ is pretty cool too. I like that game.
Yeah, well, like, speaking of Strange Journey, I also really like the new neutral ending that they added at Strange Journey Redux. Because, like, the original Strange Journey, it was also kind of like... It wasn't as bad as 4, but it was kind of like a fuck yeah, humanity. You don't really address any of the issues. But what happens in Strange Journey Redux is that Doom guy, he basically...
Are you talking about the one where he fucking goes to the moon?
Yes,
and
and he's like,
becomes
he's
he's literally like a superhero, bro.
Yeah.
He's actually
He's actually Doom guy.
Doom guy actually like straight up turns into Doom guy.
Yeah,
That's the actual canon backstory behind Doom guy, is that he traveled between like realms and he saves humanity in like a different timeline.
But like what it tells is that like it's because in the neutral ending they didn't really fix what was going on that led up to the Schwarzwald happening, which is why it keeps happening, and that's why Doom guy has to keep fixing
the
it.
cliffhanger, like most neutral endings, because I don't know if y'all know this, but literally like there's no such thing as a good neutral ending because they all suck dick and balls and ass. Is that they're so pussy and they avoid the situation. I think Strange Journeys was probably the best one because it was literally like it said right there, like it is up to the people to like keep that shit up, you know what I mean? Like it's you can't forget,
and they don't.
That it's so important to like keep the mindset like we gotta fight for ourselves. We gotta keep all this. We gotta keep us in check. That's the only. You know what I mean? There's no other fucking neutral ending that acts like that. You know what I mean? Like, SMT4 is just fucking horrible.
Yeah.
I'm curious. What does that make the Apocalypse? Since Apocalypse is nothing but neutral.
Well, Apocalypse, I took Anarchy, so
I did too.
I'd say Anarchy is chaos.
There's no, I wouldn't say there's any alignments in fucking Apocalypse. It's either
Apocalypse
you want to be evil or you want to be a good. You want the
It's-
good ending or you want the evil ending. That's literally
Apocalypse
what it is.
had-
There's no nuance to it.
Apocalypse also technically also had a law and chaos ending, but they were essentially just like the white ending, but not as
don't ever taint the name of the best ending of that fucking game by comparing to them dog shit ass fucking SMT4 Apocalypse endings, bro. I cannot believe you just said that.
I think
So-
white ending's a joke ending. It's not. It's.
I think you're a joke ending. Actually, it's a good ending, bro. Like I was literally just talking about it.
I
like,
never said it was a
yesterday
bad
with my
ending.
friend.
I never said white ending wasn't a bad ending.
What the fuck is joke? What is joke like infer? But
Hey,
it's not. You're trying to say
joke-
that's not a real one. I'm saying it's a real
Dad,
one.
I have a
like,
question. Dad, do you know how there's good jokes and bad jokes?
You've been making all bad jokes today. You made a Jack Bros joke. Like I'm sick of your jokes. I'd rather listen to Yellow's joke at this point.
I never made a Jack Bros joke. I just said I was half expecting someone to make a Jack Bros joke. I just
Nah, I'm messing
acknowledged
with
Jack.
you. I know what you mean, but like genuinely though, like I was talking about it yesterday with like Glib or some Kid Capes, I guess as people know him, but like
Yeah.
the whole point of SMT4 is the concept of parallels. So if the neutral ending is technically the good ending in big ass air quotes because it's not good, it fucking sucks ass, then the white ending is the exact opposite of that. You know what I mean? Like hope, no hope, law and chaos are basically two sides of the same coin. Tokyo and Mikado, two sides of the same coin. These Shurikai, whatever the Ring of Gaia, you know what I mean? They're basically the whole point of that game is like the similarities in the parallels between the two. So like you can't have one without the other, obviously. Except that the white ending is actually kind of good and does something, and the neutral ending is just pussy ending for pussies.
I mean, the only reason why I call it a joke ending, and I'm not saying that the content for the white ending is a joke ending, like by any means. I only call it that just as kind of like a blanket, just as kind of like a blanket statement for like endings that kind of like end the journey like super duper early. So as far as that's concerned, it's not like by like again like content wise or anything like that. It's by no means a joke ending. It's literally just an ending that literally ends the journey like super duper early.
I say like low key. I mean,
also
obviously that's so true, but like for me, that was the last ending I got in the game. So I see it as like that's what I said in my video. It's like the perfect way to end the experience. You get all the endings, and then you're like, oh, I want to see what this one is, and then you realize, oh shit. You know what I mean? Because they always make the references to the past playthroughs, you know, references to dreams or like things that you've experienced before, or like say you side with Walter or Jonathan at the midway point, and then you go to like Blasted Tokyo, and you're like, oh, I was going to Tsukiji Honganji with him. I'm going there with him, but me and him killed Lilith together. You know what I mean? Like,
right? Yeah.
And then the whites all like, oh, didn't you realize like you can do whatever the fuck you want and like make like a change or whatever. Like, whatever. It's not discussion for now, but like it's good.
I think the funny thing about you saying that is that was the first ending I got, was the white ending. From
I wonder why you of all people got the white ending first, Gabby. I don't know.
I've never tried
You
it.
eat fish with ketchup, so like
no one's ever gonna let me live that down.
no, that's
The
nasty.
Canadianness in me. Fish and ketchup.
Is it fried fish?
Sometimes.
I mean, fried fish
what
I
we're
can
talking about most of
understand.
the time
Yeah.
is, like, have you ever had cod au gratin? Gratin?
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
think so. It's
Yeah,
like got like potatoes and shit. No, that's a
And
type of
cheese,
potato.
Well, I
yeah.
mean,
Oh,
like-
right. Okay.
No, that's not a type of potato, baby. That's how you like
I got
present
it, I got
potatoes when you slice them thin and you know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Also
yeah.
called
Some-
scallop potatoes.
Some fish is served with cocktail sauce, which is basically ketchup.
Ugh, nasty. Don't even say that shit, bro.
Au gratin is like mashed potatoes, cod, and cheese.
It sounds.
Yeah, that
fried-
sounds
fried Fish
nasty.
is probably
It
like
sounds
the only
okay.
thing I'd-
It's really good.
I couldn't imagine eating fish with like mashed potatoes or whatever. That
And
sounds
then
so
you
weird to
ketchup
me.
on
Like
top of it is like
I think of fish and I'm like, yeah, some like nice fragrant rice and like some vegetables or some shit. Like,
and some
Well, yeah.
ketchup.
no,
Well,
stop.
a tartar sauce. That's pretty
White
acceptable.
ending enthusiast over here.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next question. Thank you, Xenoblade 3 Hype, for your question. Alright, Persona 4 BB Tag asks, in terms of making another Megaton JRPG, which gaming company do you wish to see Atlus do a collaboration with? And then he gives us some choices: A. Square Enix, B. Type Moon, C. Arc System Works, D. Koei Tecmo, E. Rockstar, and F. Other.
Okay. All right. My answer, and this is the answer I've been saying for years, and it's not in that choice. I have an answer for
Rockstar,
both.
I'm booting you from this chat.
No, it's not Rockstar. I would want one with Game Freak personally.
Okay, I'm
I
booting
think
you
a
from
Game
this
Freak.
chat. No, I'm just kidding.
Still booted.
I would,
Seems like a
I would
legit
love
answer.
to. I would love to see Atlus's take on like a Pokemon, on like an actual like Pokemon property game, and kind of seeing like what they would do.
Well, I mean,
That's-
Everyone would die.
I know that'd be great,
This is a children's game.
dude.
can-
They would learn about it so hard.
I don't see that working for like an official game, but that sounds like the kind of thing that would probably make a good ROM hack.
Yeah, or at the very least, like, yeah, even if it's just a ROM hack, I would be totally down to see like a Nocturne like total conversion into like it being a Pokemon game, just reusing like Pokemon Stadium models or something.
Yeah, I could see that. But okay, so as far as the choices go, definitely definitely not Rockstar, because that means we're never gonna get it. Koei Tecmo maybe, because we kind of already got one with Strikers. I mean, Arc System Works maybe, because there's Arena, but that's also not really an RPG. Probably not Square, because then it's gonna be like 90% cutscenes, and it's also probably gonna take forever to make.
Gnarly.
So, what?
What? Okay, well, what about mid 2000s to late 2000s Rockstar? You know, like San
Okay,
Andreas
yes.
era
If you
to
think-
Red
yeah,
Dead 1.
If you said, if you asked me this like 15, 20 years ago, I'd say yes, but not today. But out of those choices, honestly, I'd probably say Type Moon because, like, there's Fate Extra, which is kind of similar-ish to Persona, and, you know, like, the story and graphics are really good, it's just the gameplay is crap, so if they fix the gameplay, then I think Type Moon could make a good Megaton game. But, if as far as other, like, maybe Capcom, for like a Japanese company. If they were to give it to a Western developer, I'd say maybe BioWare.
Yeah, let's pick a Western developer. I like that idea.
Not that cool. As long as it's
Western
not
developers making a game with a Japanese property, that's never ever gone wrong.
It's like
before.
that
Sonic.
Ghost of Tsushima
Sonic
game.
Chronicles of Dark Brotherhood.
No, you don't even have to go there.
I was thinking
Mania.
DMC Devil May Cry, like.
Oh,
No, Sonic Mania, literally, that's a Japanese IP that was handled by.
Well, yeah, but that's not an RPG.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But like, I say BioWare because I mean, like, you know, they're one of the longest running like developers of Western RPGs, and you know they also made Sonic Chronicles. I don't think they should make one like that, but if they were to. I guess if they were to kind of make it in like the style of Dragon Age, then yeah, I'd probably be down for that.
They also made KOTOR also, so that's
that too.
That definitely says something.
Or also my other choice would be Obsidian.
Yeah, but they also made Anthem. Well, you know, BioWare.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, okay, we do have Dragon Age 4 coming out, so hopefully that'll save them. But I mean, yeah, BioWare's recent games haven't been the best. I think Anthem was more of an EA problem than a BioWare problem.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't imagine BioWare being like, let's make an Iron Man Destiny clone.
Yeah. What about you guys?
BioWare answer. No, like one of my favorite things about SMT5, which it might seem stupid, I liked when it would zoom in on your character all like cool and shit and give you a like little floating option to pick from. I thought that was cool. It only did it like 4 times in the whole game.
Oh, like the alignment decisions. Or
those were cool. And like Mass Effect, which is BioWare's, like the entire game is like doing those. So like, I would love to just see a BioWare like sort of take on that, like a Mass Effect type SMT game. Probably sounds stupid, but fuck it. I like the alignment shit. I want to have a game that focuses like way more on the dialogue of that, you know what I'm saying?
Marsha, I'm not gonna lie, I'm 110% with you on that. I loved that bit. I love that shit so much when they had that, you know, the floating. Like, it didn't matter much in the grand scheme of things for SMT5 other than the endings.
It doesn't matter at all, really, but it's cool. Yeah. It just looked cool.
It was
like
really
fun
cool
to do it. So, yeah.
I'm with you on that one. I really liked it.
What about you, Dad?
I don't give a fuck. Like, what is this question? Who I want them to collab with? I already said this last episode. Do Koei Tecmo on the P5S engine do a Raito game? Be so perfect, bro.
What about you, Gab?
I forgot what the question was. I'm sorry.
What? I literally just I'm gonna hit you, bro.
I saw a picture of Amaranth and it just threw me off.
Why are you looking at pictures of Amaranth?
It just popped up.
Okay.
I believe her.
Okay, if Atlus were to collab with another company, who'd you want it to be for a JRPG?
Oh yeah. Probably Koei Tecmo, mainly because I like Koei Tecmo probably the most out of everyone that was there, and I can't think of anyone else I'd probably pick. Because I like Fatal Frame, I like Atelier Sophie, I don't know, a lot of the style of games that they make.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, next question is by Agent Shifter. Is there any boss you still struggle with when replaying any of the games?
No.
I don't really like replay them, honestly.
Wow.
I don't replay very many of the games except for Megami Tensei 1 because there's so many different versions of it. And I'm trying to get through all the games, so I haven't. But I would say, just to answer right now, let's see. Boss I struggle with. That thing from SMT If, the shitty one in Akira's route, like the first boss. And nobody probably knows what I'm fucking talking about.
I mean, we had a video about it, so like...
Yeah, Bushasta, that fucking like lady, she's a pain in the ass.
I remember you were complaining about it in the video.
I don't like that boss. That's the only boss I've ever been like, I don't like doing this part. Everything else is kind of like manageable. I just don't like that one.
For me, it's like any boss that has like 2 things it'll summon, and 1 heals and 1 attacks, and if you don't kill
That
both,
sucks.
yeah.
Fucking, was it Nice Guy, Bad Guy, or whatever from Persona 4 with Kanji?
I was thinking
Shadow
of
Kanji?
Pale Rider from
Oh, yeah.
where they just summon like two guys, 1 attacks you and 1 heals them, and if you don't kill
Fucking
them,
Red
they
Rider using Dragon Eye, bro. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, that's just so annoying.
I'm
That
probably-
reminded me of SMP5. The super boss, that's a big spoiler, but
I'm probably gonna say Red Rider.
yeah.
Low
like-
key, like, nah, you finish, bro.
Well, what I was gonna say was like, usually with most of the bosses, like they may give me like trouble my first time, but then like by the second time I play them, I know how to beat them. But there's like only so much you could do against Red Rider, because like with him casting Dragon Eye and summoning his minions, and the fact that he's crazy powerful, it's just nah.
Spamming the shit out of Terror Blade too, bro. So you're always paralyzed and shit.
Exactly.
For me, I don't think there's any boss that I had a problem with because these games is easy as shit. Like, not even on the first play. I don't think there's a single boss in SMT5 that I had a problem with, even replaying the game. But it was actually a funny story when Gnarly was doing his No Fusion playthrough of SMT4. Me and I think LaRue were playing the game like side by side with him, and I remember the only boss that I actually had problems with, because I was doing like a super low level No Fusion playthrough, was King Kenji. Like, it was so... I think it was just the internal curse or whatever the hell that move was
Ancient
called,
Curse.
where Ancient Curse. I remember that because one of the first times I played the game, I had a like level something Gur. He was like the last demon I had. Flynn was dead. All my demons was dead. Like, I remember it so specifically because this man was dying to poison, and with like 4 HP, he kills Kenji, and I just think it's ridiculously funny how he just gets all the XP and everybody else is just fucking dead. But like, yeah, that's probably the only boss that coming back to a game I had a problem with. But that's only because I was doing the challenge and it was kind of hard to work out that stupid ass ailment shit and not being able to fuse an Alice who's immune to all ailments. But like, shit happens.
I guess for me, I can't really think of one that's like kind of like going back to I had like issues with, like kind of like once you've like I agree with Gab, really. It's like kind of like, I think it was Gab that said it, but like kind of once you kind of go back to like a game, you kind of like figure out what's going on, at least unless you're like you take like a couple years off or whatever, and then you come back to like a second playthrough and you're like, what happened here? Like, what do I do? Kind of thing. But other than that, I want to say they're pretty simple. Like, once you figure out like any particular boss's like weakness or patterns, you're pretty much good.
Yeah. All right, but yes, thank you, Agent Shifter, for your question. All right, next is Ninjutsu, and okay, he got 2, but I'm gonna answer the first one. He says, has there been this big passion project you guys have in mind that you still haven't been able to do but really want to do? Okay, you go first.
Oh wait a minute. I can't say because embargo.
Is it a review?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, is there?
Hey, you got all hyped. You got everybody all hyped up. You literally like raised your hand like a child at the back of the classroom. I know. It's just to go, ooh. Sadly, I can't. Like, why you gotta?
I was
Get us all
literally raising my
excited.
hands up and down, going, I got one.
Were you actually?
Yes.
It's crazy how I just know these things, man. I'm like, something else.
You'll see when. I mean, I think I can say the game. No, the game is already out, technically.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
You know, because you're in the Discords with me and I've been posting about it. Basically, I wanted to do a reference video on a game, going through all the references that it makes and talking about, what they stem from and the media behind that. And I've been working on it for a couple weeks now, and I've watched so many movies and Japanese shows and things, and I am losing my mind. I need to finish it. It's gonna be good though. I hope it really takes off, because it's been something I'm working really hard on.
Nice.
What about you, Marshall? You probably have like some fucking eldritch abomination, obscure mythology, Megaten
like that.
things from the fucking depths of the crypts in fucking Atlus's secret vault or some bullshit. Like,
maybe, I mean, my last Bible video is kind of like that because I haven't finished it yet and I've been working on it for a long time. It's like 3 hours long.
is it all the
'Cause
games? Like,
It's every game, yeah, and it talks
Oh
about
my
the
God.
the cell phone games a bit. That's probably it, but maybe that or like actually owning one of the cell phone games one day and talking about one of those. Would be
would you
cool.
ever? I was about to say, would you ever make a video on all like the mobile games, just in general, like especially all them weird ass like Persona side ones? Because I know a lot of them are just like weird gotcha games, but like
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah.
Aegis Mission or whatever the fuck it's called.
I mean, you'd have to find a way to play them.
Right, I need to find like
You'd
a way
need
to
the
play them or
phone.
find footage. You need the phones probably, but there's footage of some of them out there. Like the Soul Hackers one's got a full playthrough, so
Nice.
I could at least tell people that it exists. But yeah, I'd like to play one at some point.
Bro, the
I thought
DDS
you-
mobile games is something I was so interested in because they look weird. I don't know how to describe
Or is
do,
it
it.
LaRue
yeah.
that owns one?
I think LaRue's got the S&T
LaRue's
if
got
one.
one, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
super expensive.
Yeah, the most obscure one I have is the English iOS port of SMT1.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Is that on an iPod, I assume?
It's what's on an iPad,
Okay.
first
yeah.
generation. All right, but well, I actually do have one. It's like a it's a fan game that's kind of like a sequel to Devil Survivor 2, which I've been like I have it like basically written and everything. It's just like I don't know the first thing about like coding or game development, so and also like, you know, making a game, like it's a really big like time sink. So that's the main, and I've been like it's like I've basically had it like in the back of my head since high school. But yeah, like it's basically a sequel to Devil Survivor 2 that follows Naoya's ending, where Abel, like, he goes into heaven and he loses the war against God, and then he flees to the United States, and then North Korea invades Japan, and World War III starts.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
It sounds like a Nishitani book.
Yeah.
It sounds just like it. You should try it. You know what? He did it.
Yeah.
You can do it too. You can make like the modern version of it.
Okay. But yeah, so if I ever like get a whole bunch of free time and also the knowledge to develop a game the way I'd want to, I would make it. I actually
That's
like
cool.
I actually do kind of like want to, like, I'm not like a computer science major or anything, but I kind of been wanting to dip my feet into game development. Like, I also had this other idea for a Doom clone, which is like it's like a brutal Doom version of Super 3D Noah's Ark.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
This
we're-
is like fucking crazy.
Yeah, we're basically like, where the story is that like there's a disease going around on the Ark which is causing the animals to go berserk, so Noah has to kill them, and then he later finds out that Satan actually like put that virus there to sabotage the Ark, and then he has to go into hell and basically beat the shit out of Satan.
You gotta make that one.
That's
for
so
sure.
epic, Gnarly. I feel like I
Hold
would
on.
play the shit out of that, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you
Oh,
have
that
one, Dad?
exists.
Do
Gnarly,
I have
that,
what?
What,
Gnarly, that-
Passion project.
Gnarly, the whole. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Somebody
I'm, like,
finish a fucking like thought here, please. It's
Gnarly,
in my head.
you brought up super like Noah's Ark, but for like Brutal Doom that exists already.
Well, is it just brutal Doom with Noah's like with the Noah's Ark and stuff?
It is.
Okay. So it's not like actually game of its own.
No. I was just curious if that existed, and I looked it up. I was like, oh yeah, it does exist.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not even really complete. Like, I've seen that video too, but it's not even really complete because like it
I know.
constantly switches to Doom animation. But I don't
Very cool.
know. Okay.
I don't
That
know,
was
for me, I think the only passion project that I've had that I haven't finished is, I think since I was like 15 years old, I've always wanted to make this video about video game music. Never specifically what the fuck, you know what I mean? I don't know exactly what it's going to be about. I just been throwing ideas in my head, like the history or just discussion of how it's evolved over time, or just like it as an art form. Because ever since I was a little kid, you know what I mean? I was super into video games as a kid, and there's always them shitters that are always like, oh, video games suck, blah, 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 blah. And like, obviously I was like a little geek who thought I was quirky because I like Nintendo and shit, and like everyone's playing Call of Duty. But like, even then, like back in the day, being told like what you like isn't like real, or like legitimate or whatever. It was kind of fucking annoying. And now today, I don't give a fuck, and I like still think that's a ridiculous thing to make or say, I should say, because like, you know, composers back then was so like passionate about what they was making and shit like that. So I always wanted to make a video discussing like composers from back in the day, how it's evolved, like the methods people use to make music, because you know, like I always thought that shit's interesting. I think the development behind a lot of things is what I find interesting, or just seeing how, like, you know, because like games back in the day were so fucking tiny. They were made on scraps, you know what I mean? Like they were like like not even gigs large. They were like megabytes, all tiny ass cartridges and shit. I always think that shit's interesting to see how much people can stretch like the smallest, most tiniest, like limited resources to make something insane. And I don't know, I just think it's cool.
There's this one game on the DS that's got like, it's an open world like GTA clone, and it's got like NPCs running around and stuff. I forgot what it's called. I think it's like Cops or something.
Seriously?
It's called Cops.
I've never heard of it.
It's an acronym.
All right. I was just like, damn, just called the game Cops. Like, that's a dumbass fucking name. No wonder
it's
nobody.
It's Cop the Recruit.
No wonder nobody played that stupid ass fucking
game. It's like I've seen this before. I think this is weird looking.
What is that? A total conversion of like a GTA game or something, or?
Well,
it almost looks like it.
Well, it's kind of like a spiritual successor to Driver, and it's developed by the same people that also developed Driver 3 on the Game Boy Advance, which is also kind of similar.
That's interesting.
The GBA port of Driver 3.
The GBA port of Need for Speed that plays Get Low for the main menu. I don't remember which one it was, but like I think that's funny as fuck just listening to like Lil Jon. Super compressed, like chunky, crispy GBA sound font.
Yeah, but Robbie, did you already go?
No, I haven't. Passion project wise, I've been wanting to, because I don't know if we've ever explained it here, but my channel is probably like the most removed out of like conventional SMT, because me and my buddies for our channel, we mainly do an anime podcast, but we do discuss like SMT here and there, because like within the group I'm like the bigger fan. And I've always wanted to do like a separate like a standalone video that's like heavily edited, not anything like our regular content we make, of just talking about like the combat mechanics and stuff regarding like Persona 1 all the way through 5, and kind of like seeing how they've evolved and changed over the years. It's always been something I've always wanted to make, but because of like real life stuff and, you know, other like commitments and stuff, I've never like found the time to actually like write out a script or anything. But that's always been kind of like something that I've been interested in making for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
But I want it to be like really good and just kind of like put like actual time into. And I'm not even sure if it'd be even like, because my buddy said that like, oh yeah, you can put it on the channel. And even if it's not like, you know, like conventionally like anime related or whatever, like Persona is kind of like anime, so it would fit. But yeah, that would be like my passion project to actually like make into like a standalone video.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, one other thing that I've also kind of been thinking about is a fan dub for Strange Journey Redux.
Oh yeah,
that'd be pretty sick.
That game
needs a dub.
I would audition. I would be like first in line to audition for that.
Didn't Marsh already do his own little funny dub? What was it?
Oh, fucking Jimenez.
Yeah, you were Jimenez, bro. We already got the role covered. Like,
do you have Zelenin with a Russian accent?
I don't. Need to find somebody to do a Russian accent.
Exactly.
The game does need a dub really bad. I'd love to see that.
Okay. Alright, so yes, thank you, Ninjutsu, for your question. Next question's by SMT Network. Which specific Atlus game would you want to see turned into a Lego set, and why?
What? Oh, interesting.
I guess I think 13 Sentinels, because, you know, yeah, like the robots, those made pretty good Lego creation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have one. I want a Lego set of Ancient of Days and or Sonat.
Oh god.
That'd be sick too. Just
Bro,
anything, I guess.
SMT demons, except fuck Legos, they're Bionicles, because I'm a grown ass man. I don't play with fucking Legos like a man.
There's no Legos.
Bionicles, bro.
Bionicles is still under Lego, so it counts.
Nah, I don't give a fuck.
Are they still even?
That's like
making those
saying
things?
apple
No,
cider
they
that
were
you
canceled
drink
in,
at
like-
Thanksgiving when you're a little baby, or sparkling cider, and that hard ass shit with the alcohol is the same thing. Fuck, they're both cider, right? Nah, Bionicles is for real, man. That's how you separate a boy from a man. Do you like Lego or do you like Bionicle? You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe you said that. I'm actually a little offended that you said that, Robbie. You're just like you're 0-3 right now.
I'm literally, it's literally Bionicle is under Lego. That's not false info.
It's a Lego IP, basically.
Yeah,
I don't give a
it's
fuck.
under Lego.
It's
They
a
own it.
cultural. It's a cultural difference. It's
You know,
not
for some people, the Gargoyles franchise is also a cultural thing. So
what? I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Gargoyles, okay, the Disney show Gargoyles from the '90s, that actually had conventions. That was like basically the Brony movement before Bronies.
We're talking
back in
about
the 90s.
Bionicles, man. We're not.
And I'm talking about Gargoyles. It's the same shit. I'm just saying.
Somebody in the comments got to explain that to me. I don't know what's the correlation between Bionicles
Dude,
and
Keith
Gargoyles.
David, dude. I'm pretty sure he was in Bionicles, but Keith David was Goliath, man. I'm just saying.
I like Bionicles.
I don't like Gargoyles as much. I just wanted to bring it up.
Do you guys have an answer?
No, I don't care. That's a
Persona
dumb
5.
question.
The casino.
Persona
Cool Lego
5
set.
Bionicles.
Not Bionicle Lego set. Imagine having a Lego set like fucking casino. It'd be cool as fuck. That's my answer.
Pretty cool.
All right.
I feel like the other ones, sorry, but the other ones are like destroyed. Like Tokyo gets blown up. It's just like pieces and shit.
yeah, it'd just be like one of those boards, and then just pieces scattered all over.
Your old.
No. I actually got a real answer. It's a SMT5 Lego set. It's just a dot, and all you get is fucking sand.
Yeah.
So your
The
old.
magic sand, though.
It's
The
like
magic.
it's like when you want to take apart your Lego creation, you just smash it.
That would be an SMT Lego set.
Your old bucket of Legos. Just spread them around. There you go. That's Tokyo.
Exactly. The tough
You already-
question, honestly.
You already own the set. There you go.
Well, you gotta put the vending machines there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Destroy everything except the vending machines.
obviously.
All right. So thank you, SMT Network, for your question. All right. Next question is by Quincy. Which Megaton entry
Oh, no.
has the overall best / most well executed atmospherics, and why?
What?
What was the
What's the
question?
Which Megaton entry has the overall best or most well executed atmospherics, and why? Which one has the best atmosphere?
SMT4.
Nocturne.
I feel like
I'd say Nocturne.
I feel like Nocturne's kind of like an acquired taste. Like I like Nocturne, like the emptiness and all that shit, but I feel like there's a sharp contrast and like in a lot of places, like the world map, I feel like the music is in contrast with the mood the game's trying to set. You know what I mean? Like the ambient music, a lot of the unused music in the soundtrack to Nocturne is so fucking good at setting the tone. But like I feel like 4 is one that's like super easy to digest. It's like a universally like understandable tone and like atmosphere. But Nocturne, from what I've gotten in my fucking comment section, people fucking defending SMT5 by talking shit about a game from fucking 2003 that came out nearly 20 years ago. I feel like Nocturne is an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Not very you have to be a real gentleman that like enjoys Bionicles and shit to like appreciate Nocturne. You know what I mean?
And Gargoyles.
Yeah, sure.
I'd say again, boring. Strange Journey. It feels like a movie. I said that earlier, I think. I mean, when I was playing like Strange Journey Redux, like the Japanese dub, it sort of just felt like watching some weird old like Japanese movie you'd never heard of. That's just the vibe I got from it.
Yeah.
It's just got a very consistently like bleak tone. It's really good.
Yeah, I like how it's kind of like it gives you the feeling of the whole like, you know, you're like on a mission and then something goes wrong and now you're struggling to complete the mission. It's
Right.
like it's almost, it's like, you know, I like the whole like military theming of it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think that game nails a lot. So it's sort of like I keep coming back to it, but at the same time, like that's just how it is. I think it's just really good.
Yeah.
Strange Journey is one of them games where like for me personally, like, I fucking enjoyed that game. I don't think there's a lot of things I can complain about that game. It was just really, really enjoyable, but I can't fucking like replay it. I don't know why. I tried one time.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's like I got to Sector E on my second playthrough, and I was just like, I'll get to it later. It's not even like I don't want to do this. It's more like I'll come back to it, and I just never came back to it. And like, I don't know. It's weird for me because like that was one of the plots where I was like genuinely like holding on to every word. Like every A press had me like so invested on what's gonna happen next. But like, I don't know. I guess they just the magic was going on the second playthrough because I already knew what was gonna happen next.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I agree with Marsh, but just to be original, I'm going to say Devil Survivor. Not so much because of, like, the environment, but because I think that game really nails the whole, like, I guess the whole sense of panic that you get, like, when people start to realize that they're probably going to die at the end of the lockdown. They start going crazy, and then you see everything get progressively worse and worse. That's something that I think Devil Survivor 2 does really, or Devil Survivor 1 does really well.
See, it's a Freudian slip. He already knows that 2 is better, bro.
Devil Survivor 2 as well.
I'll give Devil Survivor 1 credit because it does actually have the lockdown type thing, which kind of adds to that. I feel like Devil Survivor 2 is probably a little extra. You know how everyone's like freaking the fuck out and they're already acting like it's post-apocalyptic, how they all that shit. Like,
I
there's
think
really nothing keeping them where they're at. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
except for like the scar or whatever the hell it's called. It's like eating up the world near the end, but that's near the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think Devil Survivor 2 does a good job of that as well, just not as good a job.
I feel like Devil Survivor 2 does a lot better on the character side, and Devil Survivor 1 does a lot better on, like, I don't know, the situational side, the environmental side, because the lockdown is great. It's a great concept. Devil Survivor 2 doesn't have anything like that, I guess. Besides, like I said, the thing at the end of the game, but, like, there's got to be, like, a middle ground. Make Devil Survivor 3. Do something right for once, Atlus. That'd be great. Make it Devil Survivor 3.
All right, so thank you, Quincy, for your question. All right, Noble but Flawed Prince asks, if there was a SMT open world game, what would you think its story would be, and who from any SMT game would you want to see in it? Well, I mean,
Marsh. I want to see Marshall SMT.
I guess
in
it
the
depends
game.
on.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on like what kind of open world it is. Like,
SMT5's open world.
Well, I mean, kind of, but when they say open world, I'm guessing they mean along the lines of something like a Bethesda game or like Assassin's Creed or whatever.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right.
But I mean, even SMT5, like it's, you know, like the worlds, like they're open-ended and stuff, but they're also linear. Like you're going down a linear path.
You're right. I mean, I think like an easy answer would be like, you make a character and you're just like you're in the destroyed Tokyo and you just do whatever. You do quests and shit.
Yeah.
It seems like a obvious answer.
Look for your dad or your son.
It's pretty simple. Yeah.
It sounds cool if they did it right. I don't know if you could have like a Bethesda
It's just
type
SMT
game.
Imagine without that loading screen.
Right, or like in first person or something. Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
So I mean, I guess you'd probably see SMT1 characters in it.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
But
I think that was
hear
one of
about-
my favorite things about SMT2 and even like SMT If on the PS1 to the extent how they had like all the statues of like the neutral hero, the chaos hero, the law hero and shit. I don't remember what dungeon it was in, but there's a lot of fucking references to the original game in the PlayStation version of If. But I liked how in SMT2 they like had the statue of the neutral hero or whatever and shit like that. That's cool.
That was really cool. Yeah.
Definitely.
Alright.
Is that it? Is all the questions? I gotta go. I got a party to go to, bro.
Okay, well,
Okay.
we got a couple more. Alright, okay, so AZ asks, yeah, SMT Dissidia, do you think that'd be fun?
Yes. If it
Yes.
has the same if it still has the same brave attack and HP attack mechanic, I would be 110% down. I love that mechanic.
I think it's a fighting game, right?
I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
that is.
It sounds cool if it's a fighting game.
Yeah, it's-
Cydia, oh my god,
it's
I
like-
Isn't it-
love.
oh no, that's that Final Fantasy like arena fighter, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, I loved. The ones on PSP. I didn't play much of the new one. Was it NT? But the original Dissidia and Duodecim was my shit back in the day. I put so many hours into those games. If they made it for SMT, I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean,
Next question.
Okay. Moon Angel.
Moon Angel Fire asks, if Atlus brought back one of his dead franchises, which one would you guys pick, and how would you design the new game in that franchise? Marshall, you go first.
A dead franchise. I don't think they really should, because there's not too many franchises that are dead necessarily. I don't
Trauma
know.
Center.
I've never played Trauma Center. How about they bring back
Etrian
Jack
Odyssey.
Bros? Jack Bros isn't even a joke answer. Make Jack Bros 2 but with colors in it. I want to see that. It'd be like a simple little game on your phone or some shit.
Jack Bros
There's
VR.
something. Like, it's not even a joke. Make another
I
Jack
think
Bros.
Atlus should bring back Devil Survivor and make it Devil Survivor 3 and have it be a mix between 1 and 2 with all the best features from 2 and the one good feature from 1, and they should make it into like the best SMT game ever.
Yeah.
So much
So-
fun.
This isn't really a joke answer, but I would love a follow-up game to their NES Wacky Races game. That game was actually really fun. I would be down to play a sequel to that. If they made another Wacky Races game.
Yeah, well, they'd have to get the rights too from all the characters.
I mean, it's just mostly Hanna-Barbera, right?
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
the only one,
That's a lot of.
You only
like,
play-
big franchises.
but you only play as Muttley though. Maybe you play as Dick Dastardly.
Well, I mean,
in the sequel.
you'd still have to like get. Well, I mean, okay. Well, if you didn't get like all the like characters in there, people would complain.
I think it's just no. I think like literally Muttley and Dick Dastardly were the only characters in the original game. I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's just those two.
That's not very faithful to the cartoon.
No, I mean it really wasn't. I mean, you played as Muttley. Muttley was just a sidekick in the original Wacky Races cartoon.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay.
Next question.
You're not gonna let me answer.
No, bitch, I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Answer.
Answer.
It's Trauma Center.
You said that already, you fucking weirdo.
I didn't get to go into detail.
What fucking other detail do you need? You just want to be a doctor, bro. You're a little fucking nerd with them thick ass glasses that you push up all the time. Little anime character.
Put it on the PC and use the mouse to control and use the mouse wheel to switch surgical tools.
That would be pretty badass. That reminds me
That
of
would
one of
be
them
cool.
old PC games, bro. Like that'd be pretty sick. I wouldn't even lie.
Yeah.
Before WASD was like the standard in control schemes.
Yeah, like I mean, like they could definitely do it. Like if Atlus doesn't think a Trauma Center game is gonna sell well, they could always just do that, put it on Steam for like $20, and then
That
give
would be
us
so
like,
epic.
and then give us a sequel. Give us Under the Knife 3.
You asked for way too damn much. You're so greedy, bro. Damn.
All right, but
Is that it? Is that all the
that's
questions?
That's the last question.
Thank you guys so much for watching the Megidolaon podcast. I've been your lovely, handsome, tall, humble, and modest host, Simply Dead. Thank you so much to Gabby for showing up late. Glad you're here. Thanks for Robbie for being here as always. Love you. Great addition. His link is in the description. He's the only one that you guys should check out. Y'all know everybody else. Robbie's great. Thank you, Gnarly, for being so late. And thank you, Marshall, SMT, Big Marsh, Big M, if you will. M for Mario, who knows. Thank you so much for showing up on the pack. We love having you on here. And I'm sure we're going to harass you into being in more episodes because it's really great. You didn't talk. You talked for like maybe 5 minutes of this entire podcast. I feel so bad
It's
for
all
you.
good.
Next time, we're going to have some topics that you actually want to talk about. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Mwah.
Holy shit, we should have Dad lead.
This is my podcast, bro. It's just got his name on it. It's my podcast, pretty much.
It doesn't have anyone's name on it.
It does, actually. There's a little sign in the back. What do you mean?
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
got, it's got
God.
all our names on it.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody.
Thank you guys.
All right, see you guys next month.
See you guys.
And see ya.
Bye.
All right, Dad, go to your party.
Yeah, okay. Fucking, my balls are fucking sweaty. Like, holy shit. He kept me in here. Like, my friend's texting me, like, yeah, dude, we gotta go. Like, and watch the UFC fight. These guys bringing food over. I'm like, hey, shit, okay. Bye. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
It's been like a fucking year since I hung out with Marshall. It was nice. I love you, bro. Mwah.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, good.